I am Anushri Bhatt from Vivekananda Degree College, Puttur is presenting a video on the topic Analytical Chemistry. Now let us see what is Analytical Chemistry. It is the science of obtaining, processing and communicating information about the composition and structure of matter. It refers to those aspects of chemistry involved in identifying substances and determining the amount of elements. It is the science of measurements. Details such as composition and structure of a substance can be obtained. In practice, separation, identification, or quantification may constitute the entire analysis. In other words, it is the art of determining what matter is present and how much it exists. This determination of composition of a particular substance depends on two methods: classical chemical methods and modern instrumental methods. Analytical chemistry has been an important since early days of chemistry, providing methods for determining which element and chemicals are present in an object. During this period, significant contribution to analytical chemistry was done. The first instrumental analysis was flame emission spectrometry developed by Robert Bunsen and Kirchhoff, who discovered rubidium and cesium in 1860. Although modern analytical chemistry is dominated by sophisticated instruments, the root of analytical chemistry and some of the principles used in modern instruments are from traditional techniques, many of which are still used today. These instruments tend to form the backbone of analytical chemistry labs. Classical methods consist of qualitative analysis and quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis determines the presence of or absence of a particular compound. It determines what is present. Qualitative analysis consists of chemical tests and flame test. Chemical test is a procedure designed to identify, quantify, or characterize a chemical compound. Chemical test includes biochemical test, test to detect the presence of reducing sugars, test for proteins and polypeptides, organic and inorganic test. The figure shows biuret test. It's a test used for determination of presence or absence of proteins and polypeptides. Flame test used to detect the presence of certain elements, primarily metal ions, based on each element's characteristic emission. The test involves introducing a sample of the element to a non-luminous flame and observing the color of the flame. Here are the colors of some of the metal ions in the figure. Calcium shows brick red color, potassium shows lilac color, lithium crimson red, strontium crimson to scarlet red, rubidium red violet, cesium blue violet, sodium intense yellow. So now let us see what is quantitative analysis. It is used to determine the quantities of particular chemical constituents present in a substance. It determines how much is present. Quantitative analysis includes volumetric analysis and gravimetric analysis. Volumetric analysis is used to determine the concentration of an identified analyte. Titrant of known concentration and volume reacts with analyte to determine analyte's concentration. Volumetric analysis is also called as titration or titrimetry, a burette and conical flask being used for an acid-base titration as shown in the video. These titrations use different types of indicators to react. Types of titration: acid-base titration, redox titration, gas-phase titration, complexometric titration, and zeta potential titration. Gravimetric analysis, determining the amount of material present by weighing the sample before and after transformation. The principle behind the gravimetric analysis is the mass of an ion in a pure compound can be determined and then used to find the mass percent of the same ion in a known quantity of an impure compound. Different types of gravimetric analysis are physical gravimetry, thermogravimetry, precipitative gravimetric analysis, and electrodeposition gravimetric analysis. Application of gravimetric analysis is measuring the solids suspended in the water sample. Once a known volume of water is filtered, the collected solids are weighed. So the figure shows different steps involved in gravimetric analysis. Instrumental chemistry, the field of analytical chemistry that investigates, analyzes using scientific instruments. It includes spectroscopic techniques and chromatographic techniques. Spectroscopic techniques makes use of effect of electromagnetic radiation on matter. Atoms of different elements have different arrangement of electrons and hence absorb and emit electromagnetic radiation to different extent. So now let us see some of the applications of spectroscopic techniques: flame emission spectroscopy, atomic absorption spectroscopy, ultraviolet visible spectroscopy, colorimetry. Here colorimetry makes use of the fact that concentration of an absorbing species in a sample of a colored solution can be estimated by comparing the color of the sample with the color of the solution of a known concentration. For example, higher the copper ions in the solution of copper sulfate, more intense the blue color of the solution. Atomic absorption spectroscopy. It is a spectroanalytical procedure for the quantitative determination of chemical elements using the absorption of light by free atoms in a gaseous state. The diagram shows the instrument used for atomic absorption spectroscopy. Flame emission spectroscopy is a spectrum of frequencies of electromagnetic radiation emitted due to an atom or molecule making a transition from higher energy state to a lower energy state. And the figure shows demonstration of emission of sodium line using wick and salt water. X-ray spectroscopy is a general form for several spectroscopic techniques for characterization of materials by using X-ray excitation. Nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy or NMR spectroscopy is a spectroscopic technique to observe local magnetic fields around atomic nuclei, and the figure shows the NMR spectroscopy instrument. Photon emission spectroscopy is another application of spectroscopic techniques, and the diagram shows the same. Chromatographic technique is another instrumental method used to determine both qualitative and quantitative analysis, used to separate the components of mixture by passing it in solution or suspension through a medium in which the components move at different rates. In all forms of chromatography, there are two distinct phases: stationary phase and mobile phase. Now let us see the different types of chromatographic techniques. Liquid chromatography is used to test water samples to look for pollution in rivers and lakes. Also used to analyze metal ions and organic compounds in solution. Gas chromatography, used in airports to determine bombs, or also used in forensic ways. It is also used to analyze a person's blood sample found at a crime spot. Here, helium gas is used to move a gaseous mixture through a column of absorbent material. The other type is paper chromatography. It is one of the most common type of chromatography. The goal of the experiment shown in the video is to separate the different pigments of the ink. The method consists of applying a test solution as a spot near the corner of the filter paper as shown in the video. The paper is impregnated with some suitable solvent to create a stationary liquid phase. Here water is taken as a solvent. An edge of the paper close to the test spot is then immersed in another solvent in which the components of the mixture are soluble in varying degree. The solvent penetrates the filter paper by capillary action and passes the sample spots and carries along with it the various composition of the sample. It uses a strip of paper as stationary phase. Capillary action is used to pull the solvent up through the filter paper and separate the solutes. And we can see clearly in the video that different components of the ink have been separated. The result is analyzed as follows. Measure of the maximum distance traveled by the water and each different pigment starting at the line is drawn on the paper. The other type of the chromatography is thin layer chromatography, TLC. It uses an absorbent material on flat glass or plastic plates. This is a simple and rapid method to detect pesticide or insecticide residue in food. It's also used in forensic to analyze dye composition of fibers. Here in the video, we can see thin layer chromatographic technique. It uses stationary phase and mobile phase. Eluent rises up by capillary action. And the separated products is visible. Now let us see the applications of analytical chemistry. Analytical chemistry plays an important role in nearly all aspects of chemistry: medicine, industry, environmental, food and agriculture, quality control. In medicine, analytical chemistry is a basis for clinical laboratory tests, which helps physicians in diagnosis of various diseases and better recovery of patients. In industry, it provides the means of testing raw materials for assuring quality of finished products like fuel, paints, and other pharmaceutical products. Environmental suspected contaminant can be tested by analytical chemistry. Also, we have seen the different applications of gravimetric analysis in the previous slide. Applications: determination of sulfur dioxide in air pollution studies, soap in oil, accelerators in rubber, total soap in latex, specific conductance of water to check water solubility in rivers and lakes, tracing antibiotics, food microbiology for tracing microorganisms, to test alkalinity of fresh water and salinity of seawater. Also, its application in sports medicine for testing drug usage by the sportsmen. Pharmaceutical industries check if the right reactants were used. In criminology and forensic science for DNA sequencing, analyzing evidence is used. Also, petrochemical industries for checking the purity of fuel, gas chromatography is being used. It is also used to test water samples to check for the pollution of water samples. Here, analytical chemistry has played a critical role in understanding of basic science to a variety of practical applications such as biomedical applications, environmental applications, quality control of industrial manufacturing, forensic science, and so on. Thus, thank you.